Hi, and welcome back to the Branding Momentum Podcast. I'm Veronica Di Polo, your host. I want us to talk about today about the number one mistake I see many people make when they are creating content for social media and the way they are communicating it. They don't meet people where they're at. They start communicating where they are at. So there are three key ingredients that you need to have to attract your audience to buy from you. But in order to do that, you need to design your messaging strategy, how you're going to market it, how you're going to hook them into your world and into your ecosystem. So let's talk about these three key ingredients. Hit it. Hey, I'm Veronica Di Polo. You are about to experience the new way to become the visible entrepreneur, to thrive in your business and in your life, and standing up for what you want to create. With the help of my Branding Momentum podcast, you'll discover what mindset shifts you have to take to have the visible mindset. Build the unique messaging to communicate with your potential audience. Get ready because here is where we say no to outdated society norms and we say yes to change. Welcome to the Branding Momentum podcast. Okay, so some of the three key ingredients to attract people into your world, into your ecosystem, into your bubble, right? Is that one, you need to attract them. You need to lure them in and you got to get them there, right? Two, you need to keep them in your world. And then three, you need to create demand. So let's dissect a little bit, just like scientists do when we are talking about your messaging and your marketing. So, number one, like I said, is to attract. You want to go against what actually are people believing or what it is probably they've created this belief and it has become true to them. So, what are the kind of things that you can do? You can actually do polarizing content. You can actually research what's happening within your industry that is actually outdated, and you can actually give them something new. You can show them the new way of how to do something for that they're actually, making a mistake or an objection that they have about something. And that is actually a way that you can actually lure them into your world, right? We're trying to attract here. But the thing is that in order to attract the right audience, you need to be giving them actually what they need, not what actually you want to give them. Yes, of course, in the end, you want to create content and put out content that you feel good about putting out, right? So let's say that, for example, you complain, right? Sometimes we complain. I know. But sometimes when we complain, we attract complainers. So that is the thing. Your messaging needs to create that hook, that thing that you want them to actually suck in and stay there. So what is actually making them suffer? What is actually making them feel or struggle? What is actually making them not be happy or they're being suffering? Now, the second thing that you need to be doing is that you need to keep them hooked. So how do you need to keep them hooked? You need to learn how to change their perspective. You got to make them think. You got to make them realize that maybe everything that they've been thinking, not everything, but some of the things that they've been thinking maybe towards your services or towards your industry is probably outdated or is probably flawed, or maybe they feel they are on the fence for that. So your messaging in that way, in the way that you need to hook them, needs to be unique. So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to hook them into you said that you are giving them a service, and once they are in there, you're not talking about that service at all, or you're not talking about that thing that you're going to help them. So first, you're already misleading them, right? But second, they don't feel that they need to stay. Sometimes this happens when you are changing or shifting your content, and that is fine. That is not a problem because we are all evolving in our businesses, right? Maybe I am sure that 2 years ago, I was not saying the same thing on social media as I am today. And that is because my business has grown. I have grown. I have shifted my content. And the people that will come now will actually stay because they want to listen to what I'm saying right now, right? And the thing about this ingredient, about the hook and trying to keep them in there, right, is that you want to be able to educate them. You want to be able to entertain them, and you got to be able to empower them. And I know sounds very easy when I'm trying to say you got to hook them in. I'm not saying that you have to do funny videos and things like that. Yes, you can do videos that are funny, that are entertaining, but actually the context of what you are saying, the messaging of what you are actually trying to communicate, that content needs to be something that really lures them in. So your content needs to be something that they've never heard before. You don't want to be saying what everybody else is saying. You got to be able to differentiate yourself from your competitors. You got to be able to actually listen to what they're saying. And if you agree or you don't agree, you got to give it a different kind of spin into what you are actually saying, that it feels really true to you, so that when they listen to it, they go like, oh yeah, I totally agree, right? So if you can show that what they believe is maybe not true and manage to, poke holes into their beliefs, that is actually a great way to start differentiating yourself and setting yourself apart from everybody else that is doing the same thing. So you need to be able to express your messaging in multiple times, because as your business grows with time, actually your audience begins to actually listen to what you are saying in a different kind of way. They're actually discovering new things as you're saying it. I'm not saying that you got to say it the same way. You can use different phrases, different words, different setups to actually express and give that message in a different kind of context, right? So the number 3, now that you have, lured them into your bubble, and you've, been changing their perspective, and you are educating them and you're empowering, now you need to create demand for actually what you're offering, right? Now, this is actually the fun part, because if you, by now, you've been able to accomplish 1 and 2, right? You've hooked them in and you've been keeping them entertained, but you have nothing there. You have just reached the influencer status, right? That's what is an influencer. They do that, they hook them in, they keep them entertained, but they are not making any money, which to me, and I do think this is the stage that you probably want to be in, and that is probably the stage that you want to accomplish the most, is that you want to actually make money, right? Because the entire point of having a good marketing and messaging is to be able to get leads that turn into sales. So how can you turn what you have accomplished this far and turn that into a business that is making money? So the way you create demand for what you are offering is that you need to get into the psyche of your potential clients, meaning you need to speak to their subconscious, in their minds, so that you can do that through storytelling or examples. Like, for example, like Gary Vee. He's super famous marketing expert, and he always takes you back when he started, and he always has a story to go back and show how he came out of that situation. Or even, I know very famous TED talkers and TED Talks that they actually present and they tell you, this client, I gave them that advice. They didn't take my advice. And so they show what's the alternative of what happened to them, because they didn't do what they were actually meant to do. So they're already, showing you an example of a mistake, right? So another way is that to create demand is to show the hard road, like what I just said, right? Show them that to get from point A to point B, you got to do all these things. But actually, when you show somebody, listen, you're going to go through this, this, and that, and this is going to happen, and that is going to this, they're not going to take that road, right? Right? We don't want to be suffering. So the easiest way is to lead them and then give them not all the information. Let them come to you saying, okay, I need some more information. I think you're an expert on this. I really feel that you and we can work together, right? So those three are the main three key ingredients that you actually need to have great communication and messaging on social media. So let me repeat those to you. You need to attract them. You need to keep them in your world, and you need to create demand. So as you're listening to this episode, we have just recently launched our visibility on social selling. So if you don't know exactly what to say on social media to persuade your potential clients why they need your services, how will anyone actually buy from you? And that is actually what visibility on social does. You will walk away knowing exactly who you'll help, when you'll sell to them, how you'll make your offer irresistible, and what to say to your audience. And it only takes 12 training sessions, and you can actually do it all yourself, or you can actually do it with me as a mentorship program for 90 days. And I will leave you the link right here, and it's veronicadipolo.com/enroll, ENROLL. Okay. So if you're interested, if you are thinking that you say, yes, my messaging is not connecting, I really need to not grow my business, but I want to make more money. I want to have more leads. I want to be able to have my clients, but I need to have a machine or a strategy behind that is actually giving me money. And how can I get more leads on social media? Because maybe I'm not utilizing my social media that is free, right, the right way. So this program will actually save you all the heartaches, all the headaches. You don't have to be a copywriter to do this. You can actually learn the way to craft and design your messaging for social media. And if this is something that you're interested and you think that you would like to get into, then be sure to enroll to veronicadipolo.com/enroll. This is for a limited time offer until we launch it again. Who knows when? Yes, because it has taken us a long time to bring this one out. A long time. Anyways, guys, I see you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye.